usual. Try to find some blocks or something similar and leave them nearby. But I can leave them on top of the mat. And a blanket will be helpful, especially the temperature dropped again. And once you gather those things, you can come lie down onto your bag. If you feel if you do not have a mat to practice with and your floor is too cold, I do suggest you put a blanket underneath your bag so you're not focusing on that discomfort that caused by the cold. When you arrive onto your bag, engage, find a steady point on the ceiling to focus on. Eventually, that works for you. You can choose to close your eyes. Let your knees, your feet, naturally drape open. Let your shoulders drop away from the ears. Imagine that someone is putting the palms on your shoulders, on your chest, and pressing your shoulders downwards. Take a long inhale. Let the air brush against the back of your throat. And exhale everything steadily out. Next, imagine you're fogging a mirror in front of you. One more time like that. We continue like that, but with our lips sealed. So breathe in through the nose. And exhale out through the nose, but keep the same kind of breathing qualities, the same kind of brushing against the back of the throat. Let's stay in this full dry breath. If you like to introduce a little bit more evenness to your breathing, you can follow me with practicing some of the fluctuation with same length. So we'll start with count of 4 for inhale and exhale. And we'll gradually increase to 6, 8, or 10 if that applies to you, but by no means you have to increase the count number. Take a long inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Continue like that Option to bring the hands by your low belly and just let your hands rise and coming down with the side of your breath. So you can stay close to your breathing. Shift your attention to it and eventually rest your mind against your breathing. And whenever you're ready, of course, you can start increasing the count of your breathing into 6, 8, 10, or even longer if you like to. I noticed that you have to put another bit extra effort to make the exhalation just as long as inhalation. Something normal for most of us. If you're in a summer victory with a bigger number of counting, you can start gradually bring yourself down to a normal counting, your normal breath. Slowly bend your left leg, hug your left knee into the chest, and place your hands with the left outside. Squeeze the left knee in and roll around the left ankle before we start moving. So use the palms to pull the left knee close to you and open the elbows to the side. So you can use that to help you to press your low back, your sit bone into the ground and keep it there. Flex your right foot, pull the right toes towards your face. Engage the back of the right leg. Inhale, slowly lift your right leg up. Press the right heel toward the sky. Exhale with control. Gradually release the right leg back toward the ground. You can release it back onto the ground. You can also keep it hovering. Inhale, lift it back up. Keep the low back attached to the ground. Exhale, start slowly. Release it back to the ground. We'll do that 3 times more like that. We'll have plenty of time to flow, to move fast. So just use this as an opportunity to stabilize your breath, to stabilize your mind. Next time, when your right leg getting close to the ground, kick the left heel toward the sky. Move your hands to behind the left knee. Extend the left leg long. Continue to keep your low back close to the ground. Pull the navel toward the spine. One more long inhale. Relax, so bend your left leg in and use your right hand to guide your left knee to the right side. Extend your left arm out to supine twist. You can slide a block underneath the left knee to catch the weight of it, make it more supported. Focus on breathe into the left shoulder, press the left shoulder into the ground. To the opposite energy going to the left hand and the left knee. One more long inhale, lengthen to the left side. Exhale, slowly bring the left knee back to center. Extend your left leg long, we'll switch side. Squeeze your right knee into the chest, interlace the hands in a different way with the right pinky outside this time. Establish your low back first. Pull the navel towards the spine. Flex the left foot. Pull the left toes towards you. Engage the back of the left leg. Roll around the right ankle. When you're ready, inhale, slowly lift your left leg up. Press the left heel toward the sky. Keep your tailbone close to the ground. And exhale, release the left leg back toward the ground. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, with the pace of the exhalation, release it down. 3 more times like that. Continue to pull the right knee close to you. Next time when your left leg is on the ground or above the ground, bring the hands behind the right knee and kick the right heel up toward the sky. Press the right leg into the hands. You might tend to lift your shoulders away from the ground, but keep it grounded and keep your low back grounded. Now press into the right heel. Next, bend to the right leg. Use your left hand to guide the right knee to the left side. Extend your right arm out to the right side. You slide the block into the right knee. Breathe into the right shoulder and sending all the way to the right fingertips. Slowly come back to center. Put both knees into the chest. Rock side to side, back and forth. And extend the legs out. Come into an early Shavasana. You can also extend both legs long. So instead of one leg up, we're keeping both legs up to a waterfall pose. If this is too early for you to float up your both legs without support, you can move yourself close to a wall and simply rest your legs on the wall. Either way, flex the feet and press the heels up toward the sky. Continue to pull the navel toward the spine. Getting the back of the legs engaged. If your legs are floating without the support of a wall, on an exhale, start slowly release both legs toward the ground without a sling. Until both of them landed. Bring the arms above the head. Walk your hands away from you. Walk the heels away from you. Let both sides ways to get in ground. Exhale, roll onto one side and come up onto a table. So some of you might find this flow is already familiar because I'm using the exactly same flow as we practiced 2 weeks ago. But I know I usually teach different sequences every week, but I like to bring that week's practice back to tonight. When you're in table, we'll do some cow and cat, any kind of variation you like to add on to. Just find neutral in your table and start walk the hands forward and melt your chest towards the ground into a happy pose. You can stay in the classic puppy pose. You can also press your palms together and bend your elbows, tuck your elbows in. Bring the prayer onto your neck, the back of the neck. So if you remember, the topic of the practice 2 weeks ago was making tools, but how can we make tools that is personalized enough for us? And that requires skills. This proverb, repetition is the mother of skills, father of action, and eventually the architect of accomplishment. So that's why I decided to bring that flow back to tonight. You can start slowly come out of the puppy pose. Keep both hands underneath your shoulders. Then extend your left leg long. Before we do anything else, tuck your right outer hip in first so your pelvis is still even. And it is still facing roughly the same direction. From there, flex your left foot, bend to the left leg, press the left heel up toward the sky. Keep your spine neutral, keep your ribs in. We tend to do some back bend in this posture, but today we'll keep our ribs in so we can keep our spine neutral. So draw the left knee into the chest, keep the spine as it is, without rounding it today. Inhale, press the left heel up toward the sky. Exhale, bring the left knee in. 3 times more like that. The next time when your left knee is pulled into the chest, so stay there for 1 second long breath with your spine being neutral. Squeeze the left knee in. Then tuck your right toes. Lift your back knee and extend your left leg up into a down dog split. Keep your left toes pointing toward the sky. Left toes pointing toward the ground rather. And exhale, draw the left knee into the chest, keep your spine neutral and snap your left foot between the hands. Take your time, spread a blanket across the mat if you have sensitive knees. If you have a really thin mat and if you don't have a blanket, you can fold your mat, the right edge of the mat slightly in for some extra padding. Bring the hands onto the left thigh bones. If you have blocks this way, you can bring the block underneath your hands for support. Reach the crown of the head toward the sky. Sink your pelvis toward the ground, tucking your thigh bones into midline. And be where you stay. Or you come into a classic low lunge. Raise up both arms. And left hand grab the right wrist, hugging the thigh bones towards each other and side bend to the left side. Reaching to the right fingertips. Exercise slowly come back to center. Press the palms together. Bend through the elbows and bring the thumbs to the back of the neck. Tuck the elbows in. From here, still try to knit the ribs in. Raise up the arms and bring the hands onto the ground, onto the blocks. And now pull the chest forward. Back up, pull your left hip back into a half split. Be here for one, so we're gonna stay 1 second breath here. Back up, bend into your left leg. Right hand down. And left hand up. Twist to the left side. So I like when in a class we focus on opening the hip, we do not let our left hip open into the left side. Instead, we continue to hug it in. Touch your right toes and shimmy your left foot to the center of the mat. Eventually, stack your left foot over the right. Here you can release your right knee onto the ground and to a supported side plank. And now reach through the left fingertips. Next, release slowly. The left arm down on the ground. And turn to the other side. Raise up your right arm into a forearm side plank. Stack the right outer hip over the left. Back so bring the right forearm down as well into a forearm plank. Always have the option to release both knees down if you like to, but continue to keep your spine neutral. And release your pelvis down. Pull your chest forward into a Sphinx pose. Make sure your elbows is right underneath your shoulders or they're beyond your shoulders. Options to stay here, option to come back into a forearm plank. Stop, slowly walk the feet closer to your face into a dolphin pose. If you decide to come into dolphin pose, this is just like downward facing dog, but instead we have our forearms on the ground, but we continue to press our chest toward the thigh bones. Lift your tailbones up toward the sky. If you're in a dolphin pose, walk your feet away from you. Bring the hands by the chest. Press into a table or high plank. Press the hips toward the heels into a child pose. Alasana. Bring the arms by the side and rest the shoulder down toward the ground. We'll repeat the other side as well. And use this familiarity as an opportunity for you to make personalized modifications for your practice tonight. So anything that I cue tonight is just a suggestion. It does not necessarily apply to you. Come in table again. Establishing this table pose and eventually stand your right leg long. Before we do next step, hug the left outer hip in, flex the right foot, and eventually press the right heel up toward the sky. Concentrate on the center of you. Exhale with your spine neutral and draw the right knee into the chest. I'm not going to get as close as when you round your upper back. Inhale, press the right heel back up. Exhale, pull the right knee in. Continue like that. It's not just familiarity with the physical posture. In fact, even the same posture oftentimes brings you different things, different moments. Next time, when your right knee into the chest, tuck your left toes, stay there for 1 second for long breath. Breathe the right knee in. Exhale, kick the right leg up. Draw the right knee into the chest, into a high plank. Step the right foot in between the hands and lower the left knee down. Take your time to adjust your legs into a low lunge. Rest your hands on the blocks or on the right thigh bones. Raise up the arms to a classic low lunge. Option to stay here. Option 2. Cross the left wrist with right hand and side bend to the right side. Slowly come back to center. Press the palms together, bend to the elbows. Bring the big thumbs onto the back of the neck. Then release the hands back to the ground on the blocks. Move through 1 round of Ardha Hanuman split. Pin the right hip back, straighten the right leg. Pull the right toes towards you. Bend into the right leg. Bring the left hand down. Right hand up, simple twist to the right side. Inhale, lengthen to the right hand. Revolve to the spine. Exhale. Lift your back knee up and walk your right foot to the right side and eventually stack your right foot over the left into a side plank or supported side plank. Stack your right hip over the left. Exhale, bend to the right elbow and bring the right elbow onto the ground and turn to the other side. Left hip stacking over the right. Stand your left up. Forearm side plank. Bend to the left elbow, bring the left hand down into a forearm plank or forearm knee plank. Your core engaged. Release your pelvis down into a Sphinx pose. Sphinx towards the elbows towards you. Press the chest towards the front. You can stay in the Sphinx pose. You can also tuck your toes, come back into a forearm plank, and walk the feet close to you into a dolphin pose. Remember, all of these options here tonight are not for you to grab. Instead, walk the feet away from you. Bring the hands by the chest. Move to the table or high plank. We'll all meet in child pose at the back of the mat. use this as a moment to reflect how you feeling about this repetition, this familiar posture practice. Are you getting bored? Are you finding new things out of the same flow? We'll move to a variation of moon salute together. Inhale, raise up the arms, sit on your shin. Exhale, hand through the front, bend through the elbows, chin to chest. Glide your chest forward to a full facing dog. Exhale, press the tailbones up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Step your left foot to the left hand, release the right knee down. Bring the arms up into a low lunge. Bring the hands down. Lightly step your right foot to meet with the left. Rise all the way up, like drawing a full moon with your arm. Exhale, bring your moon back to the ground. Step your left foot back and keep your hands on the ground this time. Release your left knee down. Step your right knee to meet with the left and press into a child pose. We'll do the other side. Inhale, come sit up. Raise up arm. Exhale and fight your chest forward. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, press the tailbones up, downward facing dog. Step the right foot to the right hand, release the left knee down, both arms up. Exhale, hands down, step your left knee with the right. Raise all the way up. Exhale, fold over the legs. Step your right foot back, both hands on the ground, release your right knee down. Exhale, pull the chest forward. Exhale, step your left knee back and push yourself back into a child pose. We'll flow like that together one more time. Inhale, raise up your hands. Exhale, hands forward, pull the chest forward. Inhale, bend. Exhale, press the tailbones up. Step the left foot forward. Release your right knee down. Raise up arms. Low lunge. Hands down, step your right foot to meet with left. Rise all the way up. Exhale, bring your foot back down to the ground. Step your left foot back, keep your hands down, release your left knee down. Step your right foot back, come into a child pose. Inhale, raise up the arms. Exhale, hands forward. Inhale, glide your chest forward. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, press your tailbones up. Step your right foot, meet with the left. Release your left knee down. Raise up the arms. Bring the hands down. Step your left foot to meet with the right. Raise all the way up. Exhale, hands down. Step your right foot back. Release your right knee down. Keep your hands on the ground. Step your left knee back to meet with the right. Press your hips back. Child pose. Float one more round on each side on your own. So you can truly cultivate some ownership of your practice tonight. We'll all meet in the child pose in the back of the mat. Once you arrive in a child pose, pause for a moment. If you're still flowing, take your time. The repetition of this flow is something that you decide to go with for the rest of the night. Please go for it. Here's the next step with me. To pull the toes, press the tailbones up into a downward facing dog. And now lift your left leg up, pointing your toes left toward the ground, even your pelvis. Next, draw the left knee into the chest, keep finding neutral so you're not round your upper back. Squeeze the left knee in. Inhale, kick the left leg back up. Exhale, left knee into the chest. Okay. Step the left foot in between the hands. Find the blocks if you have them, bring them to the top of the mat. Of course, you can release your back knee down to the ground for more support. More part of your body on the ground, more support you're getting. So from here, option to raise up both arms into a high lunge. So we're gonna go through each step of the flow, the repetitive flow again. Inhale, stay in this high lunge. And exhale, start slowly lean your chest forward. You can step your right foot forward into a high squat chair pose. You can also directly draw the right knee into the chest. And kick the right leg forward. Inhale, bring the right knee back in. Exhale, kick the right foot back into passing through a warrior three. And tap your right foot down. Inhale, raise up into high lunge. And exhale, sink your pelvis down. One round, we do it 3 times more. Inhale, raise up, reach into the fingertips. Exhale, lean your chest forward. Inhale, draw your right knee into the chest or step into a high squat. Exhale, kick the right leg forward. Inhale, squeeze the right knee in. Exhale, passing to a warrior three. You can rest your hands onto the block. Release your right foot down. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, sink your pelvis slightly down. We'll do it twice more. Now open the arms to the left side. So slowly release your right hand down, your left hand up, twist to the left side. And from here, you can directly step your left foot over the right into a side plank. Press into the palm. Exhale, bend to the left elbow and bring the left elbow onto the ground. And raise up your right hand. And bring the right elbow down. Come into a forearm plank. Here's where you can make your choice again if you want to do a knee forearm plank or forearm plank. Release the pelvis down. The sphinx pose. can stay in Sphinx pose. But if you already experienced dolphin pose and you feel like it's beneficial for your practice, so you can tuck the toes and lift your tailbones up. And I found it helpful if I clasp my hand from here and walk the feet close to the face. Maybe this time start slowly. Walk the feet so close to you that your tailbones are almost above the shoulders. So slowly walk the feet forward. Elbows down by the chest. Press the chest. Bring the arms by the side, rest the shoulders. Just slide the blocks underneath the shoulders, just make it more restive, it's restorative. And like every time, oftentimes I teach using this as an example that people will come to her at the end of the class saying something she said through the class makes a lot of sense to them. And my teacher will be like, I say that every time when I teach. So we go through similar kind of practice, but oftentimes it feels differently because we're in a different situation all the time. So repetition is never boring if you know what you're looking for. When we're ready to flow on the other side, bring the hands to the front and tuck the toes. Lift your tailbones up into a downward facing dog. Kick the right leg up. Point your right toes toward the ground. Keep your hips even. Next, draw the right knee into the chest. Keep the spine neutral. Inhale. Kick the right heel up. Exhale into chest. Last time. Let's step right foot between the hands. Bring the blocks to the front of the mat. Hands can be on the blocks, but regardless, bring the blocks tall as tight on the front of the mat for support in case you need it. Option to raise up the arms into a high lunge. Well, we didn't do this before on the other side, so we're going to move this a little bit faster. Inhale, reach up through the hands. Exhale, start slowly lean your chest toward the front. You can step your left foot forward into a chair pose. Option to standing onto the right leg. Squeeze your left knee into the chest. Exhale, send your left leg forward. So squeeze your left leg in. Exhale, pass into warrior three. Tap the left foot down. Inhale, both hands up. Exhale, sink your pelvis slightly down. 4 times more. Inhale. Exhale, lean your chest forward. Inhale, draw your left knee into the chest. Exhale, take the left leg straight. Draw the left knee. Exhale, pass into warrior three. Step the left foot down. your right in highlight. Take a long breath in. Exhale, open the chest to the right side, open the arms to a T. Down into plank. Here, if you're in a Sphinx pose. Sphinx pose, you can also come into a dolphin pose with a hand clasp. Hands, make sure you switch the clasp on this side. Walk the feet close to you. Feel your pelvis almost above your shoulders toward the direction. Not necessarily helpful. Chest. Bring the arm by the side and rest your shoulders down. Especially if you've been to some dolphin pose, you might feeling it in your shoulders. So this is a good place to bring some blocks, some padding in your shoulders. Make them feel comfortable. And if you know me well, we're going to go through each side one more time. Take a little bit add on though. Come into a downward facing dog. Up your left leg, or your left toes to the ground. Draw your left knee into the chest. Step your left foot in between the hands. Rise up into a high lunge or low lunge. Hands on your standing level. Inhale, reach into both fingertips. Exhale, lean your chest forward. Step your right foot forward or directly come into. Bring your right hand into the chest. Option to kick your right leg forward from here. Option 2, grab your right big toe with your left piece fingers. Kick your right leg straight. Bring your right arm to the back. If you have it. The chest, keep hugging your left outer hip in and pass to the warrior 3. And this time we're passing through with one cycle of breath here. Lunge. Step your left foot back. Keep it floating. right elbow down to the ground. And stay in this forearm plank with the left foot floating. Also, start hopping, right foot in, and of course you can always release both feet down into the forearm plank. You can also release your pelvis down into Sphinx pose. The last offering is on this forearm plank with the left foot floating. Start hop the right foot in close to the base. Press the left heel up toward the sky. Press firmly through the elbows. Adding all the shoulders into adding all the pressures into the shoulders. Some of the pressure. Bring the hands to the chest. So because you already know, you already went through the flow once or twice, inevitably there might be some expectations rising up. Just simply practice with it instead of fighting against it. If last time you chose to resting through the posture through the flow, it doesn't mean that you cannot do it this time. The posture flows is probably the least important thing of the yoga practice. Whenever you're ready to flow the other side, come into downward dog, Ardha Chandrasana. Hold up your right leg, ball your right knee into the chest, step your right foot, and right up into the highlight. Block to the front of the mat. Your chest forward, step forward, or directly come into standing with the left knee into the chest. Option to keep the left leg straight, or grab the left leg toward the right fingers, then keep the left leg straight. Bring the left arm. Right out of the head, then down. Let your left leg down. Roll down slightly ears. Open the chest to the right side. Slowly the left leg down. Lift up your right leg. Option to stack the right leg over the left. Right elbow down, left elbow down. Rest your right foot down here. Come into Sphinx pose. Also start to hop your left foot closer to the face. Keep the right leg floating. Use the back of right leg. Press firmly through the elbows. Feel the energy coming from the elbows all the way to the shoulders and to the right. And press yourself into a child pose. Side, rest your shoulders on something nice and cushioning. 5th round of breath here. Close our practice soon, so use this moment to catch your breath. This feels restorative to you and you'd like to stay here, it's perfectly fine. If you like to try a couple more variations of inversion, come up, sit on this sheet. First thing we're going to try is rabbit pose. Grab the heels with the hands. Go around the shoulders. Tuck the chin toward the chest. Roll the chin along the line of your so slow. Roll your hand toward the ground and the palm of the hand down. The arms straight. So your brain is below the pelvis. This is a kind of inversion as well. So when we talk about inversion, it's not always about headstand, handstand, shoulder stand. Anytime that your head is below the pelvis counts as inversion, including a wide leg function or full over legs. Start slowly rolling back up along the same line. You can try another round of that. But if you're ready to try Shirshana and Sensei, this is your first time or you're still practicing it, you can bring yourself close to what you're supposed to say. Catch your feet on one side. Of course, you can go back to that rapid pose for the second round. Do you want to try handstand? Bring the elbows onto the ground and grab the upper shoulders with the hand, so that brings your elbows to a proper distance. Then clasp your hands, your toes, and lift your tailbones up to a dolphin pose. You can start walk the feet close to you, resting at the crown of the head in between the hands. You can stay here, walk the pelvis above the shoulders. You can also squeeze the feet, the knees into the chest. Press the heels toward the sky. Keep the neutral spine as we've been practicing. Now slowly squeeze this back into the chest again. Just down. Come into the child pose for a couple minutes. And do some shoulder rolls here. Whenever you're ready, come to a seat. Put the soles of the feet together. Grab the feet with the hands. Pull the heels close to the pelvis. Push your elbows into the thigh bones and fold over into Baddha Konasana, like a pose, butterfly. So many different names for the same posture. That's why I'm saying people been saying that physical posture is not the most important thing. Same posture can be so differently in vinyasa, maybe even different in Ashtanga and in yoga. As long as it makes sense for your own practice, then it's a good yoga posture. Slowly come back up. Come all the way down to our back. Close our practice zone. Cross your right ankle over the left knee. With the right hand, gently press the right knee open. Feel the navel toward the spine again, toward the ground. And keep the right knee open, release the right foot, left knee down towards the left side. Open the right arm to the right side. Since the right arm is open, you can switch your left hand to slightly press the right thigh bone open. Hope it's still closed. If not, still to the right shoulder all the way to the right fingertips. The far right side. And come back to center. Keep your right arm to the window. Pass the hands with the left knee outside. Take your foot on the back. Starting to pull the left knee and right leg close to the chest to intensify the right outer hip stretch. Keep your tailbones close to the ground. And start slowly release everything back to the ground. Switch side. Pass the left knee. Left hand close the right knee. Press the left knee open with the left hand. And gently release your right and your left foot to the right side. Extend your left arm up. Switch to use your right hand to press your left thigh bone open. And so slowly come back to center. Keep your left arm to the window. Clap the hands to the right heel side. Hold question. Pull the right knee, your left leg close to the chest while keeping your tailbone close to the ground. Start slowly release feet close to the ground. Knock the knees together, feet as wide as mat, and windshield wide moving side to side. If you have any other posture you'd like to include in your practice tonight, this opportunity, I do suggest you go for some symmetry. Leave enough time for your Shavasana. When you're ready, stretch the legs, your arms out, relax the shoulders. Let a blanket over the pelvis, make it more grounding. Also, slide the block in each hand. Elevate your hand from the floor, getting some nice shoulder relaxation. Shavasana. You are ready to come out of the quiet space that you are. Gently, gently into one like another. Roll off to one side of you. Feel free to navigate yourself in this comfort seat. Your palms continue to facing down. The way it is in our daily life these days, so repetition can seem to be a bit boring. Our mind is constantly seeking for stimulation. They also distract us from paying attention to seek truthfulness within us. Let's sit here for a little bit longer, quietly. Just to sit here quietly with our experience with this repetitive practice that we did tonight. Sit quietly with it instead of jumping off the mat and seeking for stimulation. Everything goes back to zero. Of course, if you like to stay in the space for a little bit longer, feel free to do so. Otherwise, gather hands on the heart as prayer. A long breath in. Exhale, let everything out. Bow the head toward the heart. Whenever ready, slowly blink open the eyes. So much for practicing tonight. I look forward to seeing you